Oh, hi. It's that time of year again, isn't it, where the church loves to plan for its budget, for its stewardship campaign, for the money that we're going to need for the upcoming year, 2023. Been thinking about that a lot, and I'm looking forward to what the next year might hold. But one of the challenges that we've had as a stewardship committee this year is kind of coming up with a theme. What might stewardship look like? Indeed, what might stewardship look like? Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the time of God's great blessing upon you. You want to receive God's blessing today? God wants to take your Kia and turn it into a Cadillac. God wants to take your Ford and turn it into a Ferrari. There's an electric vehicle owner here. I get a sense from God. This person is tall, handsome, has a young family. God wants to take your electric vehicle, and I don't know what God wants to do with your electric vehicle, but I'm sure you can figure it out and know that God wants you to bring a blessing to the church. That's right, folks. The more you give, the more God will bless you, the more you will get back. God wants to take your cold cuts and turn them into caviar. God wants to take your sausages and turn them into steak. God wants to take your tofu. Your tofu? I don't know if God can do anything with your tofu. But either way, God wants you to experience the fullness, the richness, the deepest blessings possible. The more you give, the more you will be blessed. Folks, I have a great opportunity for you right now. Here on this communion table, we have a box of holy tissues. These tissues have been sitting here for several hours now, receiving the blessing of God's Spirit. If you send a generous donation today to 1-800-KNEEL, we will send you one of these blessed tissues. But more than that, if your gift is extraordinarily generous, we will send you not just a regular tissue, no, we will send you a gently used one, blessed by the pastor himself. What more could you want to have as a blessing from God? Remember, 1-800-555-KNEEL. 1-800-555-KNEEL, and one of these tissues could be yours. Don't miss out on the blessing that God has for you today. Man, I don't know who that was, but can you imagine trying to live life like that? That's not who we are, of course. We're a church that really wants to care for one another. We're a church that wants to continue with our involvement in the local community. We're a church that wants to continue to support international organizations like Rural Healthcare Initiative, local organizations like Solid Ground and the White Bear Lake Area Food Shelf and others. But to do that and to have a ministry here where we can grow in our faith and knowledge of God and Jesus Christ, it requires your support. It requires faithful stewardship on our part of all that God has blessed and entrusted us with. The Apostle Paul, when he was writing to the church in Corinth, said the following. He said, "Our desire is not that others might be relieved when you are hard pressed, but that there might be equality At the present time, your plenty will supply what they need, so that in turn, their plenty will supply what you need. The goal is equality. As it is written, the one who gathered much did not have too much, and the one who gathered little did not have too little. If we all do our part, we can have a church that's thriving for years to come. But it requires all of us to give so that we might be able to continue the ministry that we have. So as we enter into our stewardship campaign this year, I just encourage you to take a look at your life and ask yourself, what can you do to help our church thrive?